just talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Argue over weapons throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rand Cafe.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Outproar, and welcome to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast, the anime podcast that you are listening to right now.
What?
Joining me today, along with Briggs and Nux.
Nux and Briggs!
Yeah,
Oh,
baby!
got him. We have also joining us today one of the greatest kings of a very specific kind, Evanito.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you finally recognize that I am a king, and thank you for having me.
Starts off with the voice crack, flexing hard, the simp nature of his being.
I didn't. My voice didn't crack.
Simpanito, you dropped your crown.
No.
Like Bomb in Tower of Simp.
Hey,
I saw that scene.
Yeah.
It was
But no,
pretty
seriously,
bad.
Evan, you have a great sense of humor.
and if you
that's why we
think
love
about it, Bomb actually dropped his crown to simp. Did you notice?
That is no, he did. He technically did. Yeah.
Dropped the crown to simp, and I actually
Yeah,
went further in the
bro.
manhwa, and he doesn't stop simping.
Gozen says, okay, so Gozen is reading and he says it takes 324 chapters until he stops being a simp. 324.
So a friend of mine
Yikes.
told me that Tower of God gets really good at like chapter 400. And I'm like, wait. So you're telling me that it's just mediocre for the first 400 chapters? That's how he started. And I was like,
Well,
he was
yeah,
like,
it's almost like someone's like, bro, Gintama gets really good at episode 94.
yeah, but the thing is, I could defend that statement, but I don't have the patience to argue with a plebeian like yourself, since I've said
Fair
it
enough.
before. So let's just get into the meat and potatoes of this episode: the old era of Shonen versus the new era of Shonen.
Yes, but before that, let me just update you guys. First of all, thank you so much for over 100 patrons on the Rank Cafe Patreon. We really appreciate it, guys. And to update you on the light novel, I am working right now on chapter 3. And I thought it was all going to be one chapter, but it turns out that what I wanted to be chapter 3 is going to have to end up being chapters 3 and 4 because it's going to be too long. But nevertheless, we are going to meet in the next chapter Dakota Broski, Core, and none other than Evan Ito.
Nani?
It was real.
Yes. They're all appearing in the story in the next
No,
chapter.
the funniest thing is, before we actually wrote anyone into the light novel, we always ask them first if they mind what we do with their character, whatever. But we didn't even ask Evan.
Yeah, because we know he's a boss. He's never gonna mind, bro.
All right,
That's
Evan,
true.
you
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
care.
mind.
It'll be.
He's
dope.
never gonna mind. And also, there may or may not be cat girl milfs in this next chapter. You'll have to find out.
Ooh.
Definitely,
I like cat girl milfs.
Hit up our Patreon, and can we please rant some shonen, please?
Go ahead, Nux.
Okay, I vote Evan starts since he has the objectively worst taste in the call.
Well, can we first can we classify what is considered old versus new show?
That's a good call. All right. So the way I always saw shonen, I kind of saw it in 3 stages. I saw like the early stages of shonen are kind of like the building blocks, like Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball. And then I
Yeah.
saw more of like a mid-range shonen, like everything from One Piece, I guess, till the end of Naruto. And then I'd say new era shonen is like My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Demon Slayer, like
Food Wars.
Seven Deadly Sins, Food Wars, that style. So when I say old shonen versus new shonen, I'm not referring to the Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho type shonen. Because that's like, it's the great grandfathers of shonen. That's like, I don't think it's really comparable. So I would like to say new era of shonen being, let's say, 2015 and on. And old era of shonen is pre-2015, like One Piece.
Yeah.
Naruto,
The grandfathers of
Bleach.
Shonen, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Dragon Ball are like kind of influenced the One Pieces and the
Yeah.
Narutos, right? They
Okay,
took heavily
but-
influence from it.
But
Yeah.
then to be fair, you can't really include Seven Deadly Sins because I'm pretty sure they're from 2014, the manga.
Let's not get.
The anime's 2015. Shut up. It's okay. That year's not the cutoff. I mean that age, like that era when that starts.
Okay, I think I get you.
Like, or another example, I'd say JoJo's is like, grandfather of shonen at time. That's not old shonen. That's like.
No, I think of it. Seven Deadly Sins might be even older than 2014. Maybe the anime is like 2014. But anyway, the point is, whatever, make your statement. But I would definitely, when you say old shonen, I would definitely think like Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and even One Piece. One Piece came out in like the mid 90s.
Oh, 1999, I believe.
The anime, but the manga I feel like was even older, like 96.
96 is when like he started like thinking about it, but I think he actually started popping it out at 1999.
I'm pretty sure the first chapter of One Piece dropped in like 1999 or 1998, although there was a one shot that came out a few years prior.
Okay. Well, the point is, like, to me, that's obviously much older. But the problem with One Piece is it's still going on, so it's both old and new. It's just its own thing.
My man, that's what I was gonna say. One Piece is my past, present, and future, my dudes.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
when One
You
Piece
can't argue.
ends, Briggs is going to be unconsolable.
When One Piece ends, I'm just gonna disappear from the internet.
His channel just gets shut down. It's over.
He'll finally lean back in his lazy boy chair around his great-grandchildren and tell them, "My children, this is an adventure of a lifetime. Did any of ye read One Piece?" And like a few of the grandchildren will like pick their hands up and say, "Good." And those of you that didn't, get out of my living room. It's like, "But Grandpa, I don't want to leave. I want to hear your stories. Pass me my stick."
So one positive I will give to the new shonen era is that like the old formula of like the way One Piece works, a new episode comes out every single week. Or even Naruto is the same thing. A new episode will come out every single week for like 20 years, which is insane. So what ends up happening is the series is either really slowly paced, contains a ton of filler, and also the animation isn't all that special. While in comparison, when you look at like the Seven Deadly Sins, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, they come out in like 12 to 24 episode chunks over the span of a year, for example, and then the next season will come out in another year or two. And by doing that, you could like up the animation quality and reduce the like necessary amount of filler, and like you could actually increase the pacing as well.
So first of all, you're referring to the anime, not the manga. Like
Yes.
the manga for all of these things are going on weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I would classify them as like also Black Clover was 120 episodes in one shot, 150
Yeah,
episodes.
Black Clover is a modern example of that.
And that's why the adaptation wasn't very good, especially for the first 24 episodes.
I'm not praising the adaptation I'm just saying that it's not like a good classification per se.
I'm just saying one positive to new anime, not the manga itself, because the manga a lot of times it depends on like who the actual mangaka is and like how their health maintains over those years and how like they're able to like keep up with the insane workload. As we know, Oda's a god, but like sadly not every mangaka can maintain that level of quality for like that amount of time. So I'm just saying like new anime, one thing that's good about it is that it's the way it actually is given to us.
Also, some other people in the industry like Togashi, the writer of Hunter x Hunter, and Shonen Jump, even though he could just like take a year off and just come back, drop like 3 chapters, take another year off, like he will always have his place in Shonen Jump, even if the art looks like straight crap. Like even if it looks like complete garbage, they will, polish and dust his throne for him when he returns.
I would definitely consider Hunter x Hunter the old shonen.
Yes, as would I.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now, one thing that I will say, and I don't want to have this misconception, so I'm going to clarify this, but I think that in newer shonen, we have more useful female characters.
Yes.
But again, old shonen still did have useful and badass characters. So I'm not saying it didn't. It's just that I feel like now we have more of it. If you look at Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, there's a ton of interesting female characters who are developed in many ways and who have cool powers and are actually useful in battle. You had some of that in Dragon Ball for sure, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, all these older ones, Naruto, but I just feel like not to the same extent.
I think part of the reason of that may be because anime is just getting more and more mainstream and popular. So in the beginning, shonen genre was aimed towards men, but as it gets like anime becomes popular worldwide, obviously more and more females are going to be interested in watching shonen, and that's definitely prevalent in a lot of stuff coming out today. So maybe they realize this and they have to kind of broaden their demographic and put time into more female characters.
All right, so
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
I
spoiling
appreciate
anything,
that.
Animac. I'm sending you an image of the manga Greed Island arc, how it actually looks in the manga.
Dragon Puncher says, "Who in MHA? They are no useful character." What are you talking about? First of all, Dragon Puncher. I hope Ryukyu punches you in the face. Second of all, no, Miruko, clearly useful right now in the manga. We have Ryukyu, a dragon lady. We have,
You
of
can name
course.
a character that's already in the anime for them though, because they.
Oh,
didn't-
so I would say that Momo has been shown to be very useful. We have even Ochako, as much as I'm not a huge fan of her, has been shown to be useful.
In the anime, I don't think they showed her usefulness yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of on Simp side here.
I don't know. I
Also,
feel
look
like
at this art that I just sent you for an image of the Green Island arc.
we have
the
Nina
manga.
Nana Shimura, sorry.
She
The teacher's like Midnight. I mean, you know, it's useful.
Dude, look at this image, bro.
Okay, fine. Let me see.
Bro, I swear Togashi is a writer, author that's just like, okay, I'm gonna try to make a manga.
Yeah. But look, this is not normal. What are these people like on the? In
Bro,
the
that's
top
art, fam.
Low
That is
key,
art.
I think I could draw to that level. I cannot write to his level. He is an amazing writer and like had created an amazing world and story and characters. But I think I could draw to that level.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Like that doesn't even have shading.
Oh, you're
Like, it's not
complaining
even-
about the shading? The group of people are just a squiggly line, man.
Yeah, 'cause you sometimes you have like chibi creations.
This
in-
is not
Alright.
chibi creations, okay? That
At
bottom
least-
image, he literally pissed on the parchment and threw it.
All right,
That's
I'm
all.
putting this on screen for everyone watching real quick.
The,
But let's
the funny
continue.
thing is, this has more effort in it than Tite Kubo puts in his backgrounds.
All
That's
right.
not true,
So first of
but-
all, Kubo only did that in the final arc because he really wasn't down to do it. The editors kind of forced him to stretch it out. In the
Yeah,
beginning,
but why don't
his
you just get
background
other people
was-
to do your backgrounds? Why don't you just get like assistants to do it?
I have no idea, but that's not what happened. But look how bad that image is, chat.
Bro, look at how beautiful that background is, though.
Look at those people.
Anyway, let's not rely too much on visuals for those people who are listening to the podcast. But if you do want to look at visuals, you can always check out the Rank of Anime YouTube channel or the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/rankcafe.
All right, but once we're showing them images, can I find a different one that I like?
Oh my god.
This is the greatest image in all of Hunter x Hunter, though. I think you already know what I'm referring to.
Also, don't slander Kubo's art style. You can slander a lot of things about Kubo for sure, but his art style
His
is
art-
fucking badass.
That's
It is.
true,
Well, you better
that's
not-
true.
You better not slander his hair or shades.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
Anyway, is anyone gonna stay on topic, guys?
No, ideally not. That's what we do.
But it was your idea to do this topic. I thought you actually wanted to do it.
I like, dude. I just have a fun time with the boys. Yes.
It's true.
Anyway, here's the best image in all of Hunter x Hunter. Did you ever see that?
To describe it, please describe the image nuts for the audio listeners.
All right. So
Oh,
the it's kind of divided like a manga. Like there should be images, but it's all words. The whole thing.
It's just panels of words, the entire thing.
It's basically, yeah, it's basically a light novel turned into a manga.
Put in Yo, you have to put it on the stream. There it is. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Hey.
So yeah, in terms of like One Piece and JoJo's are two that I feel like are just you can't classify them because they're like One Piece has been going on for so long and JoJo's is so unique. It's like what can you
JoJo's
compare
also
JoJo?
like JoJo started before One Piece and it's still going.
Yeah, and like how can you compare JoJo's to anything else? It's so unique.
In comes the Fist of the North Star fans to slap you across the face. But Anyway, aside from that,
I think I personally prefer older shonen than the newer shonen because like I've been trying to like, absolutely fall in love with like newer shonen the way I've fallen in love with like stuff like One Piece and Dragon Ball. But like I don't know, My Hero Academia isn't cutting it for me. Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan actually got good at the end of the
Attack on
last
Titan's
season.
not shonen, bro.
Okay,
I
whatever.
mean,
it is.
it's technically classified as shonen, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it's definitely seinen now, and also it
Yeah.
would technically be older. It's like when did it come out, like 2010 or something, the manga?
I have
Well,
no
the anime
clue.
started 2013, but like that's not too old. I would consider that new age, I guess. But I think as far as the major difference between new and old shonen, I feel like shonen really older shonen, and I mean like the Naruto days. I think there's more heart in older shonen, while the newer shonen aren't worried about that per se, and they're more about just getting a whole bunch of characters out there that develop and whatever. So while I do appreciate both aspects, and I think that both are good. Like for example, I don't think any old shonen has a cast like the way the Seven Deadly Sins develop. I feel like Meliodas, Ban, Escanor, even like lesser characters than the three of them, like King and Gother, they all have way more development as a group of individuals than, let's say, the five main characters of almost any other show. Even One Piece, which is fantastic in how the story progresses the whole way. I've mentioned before, but it's about how the characters change the world as opposed to how the world changes the characters. It's not so much about every individual character development as much as the growth of the overall setting. So like as far as taking characters, I'm not saying they're the five best characters, but as far as development goes in these characters, I feel like it's pretty much unsurpassed in shonen. Haikyuu
Yeah.
also fantastic.
I mean,
like
you have a
growing
fair
whole
point
massive
there.
camp.
You have a fair
Yeah.
point, although I'm sure some people will be like, no, that's wrong because One Piece has the best development. But I would say that, yeah, with anime like Black Clover, My Hero Academia, even Demon Slayer, there is a big cast of characters, and they definitely focus a lot of attention on characters that are not just the main character, Deku or Asta or whatever. And with MHA, I see a lot of people hating on it in the chat. But the thing with MHA is it varies so greatly based on what's being covered in which arc. So
Yeah,
there
the
are
arcs
arcs,
without Deku are all better than the arcs with Deku. So
yeah,
like,
so arcs
as
that
a
are
simple
focused
example,
arcs that are focused on certain things like training or Deku in particular, and not on other characters, to me seem more boring. And then other characters that have focused on the villains a lot, other arcs that focus on the villains a lot, and other characters and develop other characters, to me are more fun. Like the current arc in the manga is awesome to me, and I think it's absolutely could be one of the best in the whole story, depending on how it ends. But there are arcs in the past that I definitely was not super interested in. So to me, it just kind of shifts. It depends.
so like, I agree. And as far as the old shonen, I feel like I guess that's one thing that's lacking. Like, let's say you look at Naruto, everyone has their time to shine in their own arc, but once their arc is over, they're kind of gone. Like, Lee had development until his arc was over. Neji had development until his arc was over. And Shikamaru
Tenten
had
never had
development
development.
until his arc was over. Tenten never had an arc. I mean, the first time we see her walk on the battlefield, she gets ragdolled by Tamari for like 30 seconds, and then we never see her again. But the point that I'm trying to make is, but Naruto focused a lot on Naruto and Sasuke. Like, there's no, let's say, protagonists in New Age Shonen that grow like Naruto and Sasuke, and they're not my favorite characters in Naruto by a long shot.
Nux, could you please stop the cultural appropriation and pronounce Sasuke properly?
Sasuke.
Sasuke.
It was amazing. In my e-girl video, I made that line, and people were genuinely upset that I pronounced Sasuke wrong.
Sasuke!
Thank you, Screechinito.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, what, Nux? You don't like it when someone else screeches?
I was thanking him.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'm actually pretty optimistic about the future of shonen, to be honest, because even though
Absolutely, it's growing, man.
yeah, and it's not like the isekai genre where it's like maybe because isekai is more relatively new. Shonen's been around for so long. Isekai, I feel like it's just the same formula over and over and over again. And you would think like I would be very much in support of old shonen because I love One Piece, but like Demon Slayer I thought was great, but even better than that, Food Wars is in my top 10 favorite anime of all time, and it is
yes.
without a doubt a
Food Wars
shonen.
developed the whole cast. It's in that style.
Yes.
I feel like that's the biggest divide between new shonen and old shonen.
No, but one of the great things about Food Wars is it really, or like this, like I feel like I'm optimistic in general because of how creative they could be nowadays. There's been so many shonens with the same formula used over and over. I feel like they're trying to flip it on its head now. So you got to
I'm telling you, man, the first person that makes a good political shonen anime, like a shonen anime about politics, bro, that'll be fire. I'll have two politicians like in these like L versus Light chess matches,
Ooh.
4-dimensional food gasming and stuff.
Some
Whoa!
guy.
Oh,
Steve
oh,
Panda
God.
donated 50 tier 1 subs. The mad lad.
Damn, thanks, bro.
God, thank you so much. Thanks,
man,
bro.
we love you, bro.
Yeah, I would love to see that. It's like I'm not gonna be the Pirate King or the Wizard King. I'm gonna be the Prime Minister of Japan.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be fire. And you have two people behind the scenes. Obviously, the protagonist will be like, he'll care about the people, and the antagonist will care about the position, and they'll have a whole facade going on. Like, I can see that.
Wouldn't that just be the anime version of House of Cards?
Anime House of Cards, just shonenified
Yeah.
with like etchy everywhere.
Because like shonen isn't like restricted to battling with your fists. Like you said, like Death Note, I wouldn't even classify as shonen, but you could do a Death Note-esque show and make it a shonen. And the same thing with
Absolutely.
Food Wars. It is
It
literally
would be
people
Shonen
making
Jump.
food.
Death Note
and-
was in Shonen Jump, so they know
Yeah.
what
Exactly.
they kind of know what they're doing, even though I wouldn't necessarily consider it a shonen either. But again, just one more point on this example of cast versus not. If you look at old sports shonen versus a newish sports shonen, Hajime no Ippo versus Haikyuu, that's exactly what you get. Haikyuu develops the whole cast, even the cast in other. Sorry.
I'd kind of like. Sorry, I disagree a little bit. I feel like Hajime no Ippo has a better developed, better develops their characters and focuses more on their characters than Haikyuu.
Until their arc is over. Like, Sendo was a great character until his arc ended, and then we never heard of Sendo again.
But
you
that's
know? Or
like an antagonist kind of, right? Or like a opponent.
I mean,
when you
yeah,
look at the
but
main cast
antagonists, dude, antagonists in Haikyuu come back though.
It's true.
Like,
And no, the
Oikawa
antagonists
is the
definitely
best
develop
character.
more. They definitely develop more. But I'm saying like think about like the main 6 or 7 characters in Haikyuu versus the main 4 or 5 in Hajime no Ippo. I feel
Yeah.
like I care much more about the characters in Ippo, and they're more developed.
I mean, I care much more about the ones in Haikyuu, and I think they're more developed. But like,
I get
if you look at, all right, so who's developed aside from Ippo and Mad Lad? Aside
And
from those
Takamura,
two,
the other two,
and
like,
Takamura.
what, I can't remember their names. What the other two
What?
characters are?
Forget the names. But what other
Aokiji,
characters?
not Aokiji.
Not Aokiji. What other characters get development? Like,
Dude,
at all? They don't really.
Are you kidding
develop.
me? I can't remember their names. I also can't remember the character names in Haikyuu. I'm bad with names.
Mad Lad.
The 2 guys that work out at the gym with Ippo.
I
and
know who
Takamura.
you're talking about. I
Those
know
2
who you're talking
guys, like, they're at the end of their careers. They're struggling, right? They're barely able to do anything, and slowly they get influenced by Ippo and Takamura and start to actually make a difference. And by the end of the series,
Yeah.
I can't spoil the manga, but like, I have started reading it. Like, you start to root for them and care about them, and they've had their
But I
own
always
personal
rooted for them.
developments, both outside and inside the ring. It's like they put the time to develop those characters.
All right. So I never. Someone in chat said it's Kimura and Aoki. So I
Oh, I was
never
close.
read. Yeah, I guess you said Aokiji, which is a
Aokiji.
mix of the 2 of them. So hell yeah. But like in Haikyuu, so first of all, that's 4 characters. Second
Yeah.
of all, I don't think the 2 of them get nearly the development of the main 2. But if you look at Haikyuu, you got Hinata and Kageyama, who both develop tremendously throughout the story. Like every single arc, they develop again, further and further. Other characters like Nishinoya and Tsukishima, both that's for since you don't really remember names. One is the libero guy, the guy who blocks all the shots on the ground, the short dude with the yellow hair,
I liked him.
and the tall guy with glasses, Tsukishima.
I feel like I love the team as a whole and their dynamic, but I don't feel like the actual other teammates, other than Kageyama and Hinata, get that much time to develop.
What, bro? The whole cast. Anyway, not the point. Let's not dwell on these 2 shows, which clearly Animac and Symphonito have.
Also, Haikyuu is like top.
No,
favorite
I
favorite
have
shonen
seen
for me.
this.
I mean, sports anime for me. I love it. I'm not trying to diss it. I'm just saying character development wise, I feel it more for the antagonists and then our main two.
They do actually develop like all of the haiku characters like really well. And that was probably my problem with the show because I felt like it just slowed it down a ton.
Bro, you know how much you care about the other teams in Haikyuu? It's amazing. They spend a lot
Yeah,
of
no,
time
it's
on it.
amazing that they make you care about it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it so slow?
Nah, fam, I'm all for it. I love Haikyuu so much. It's so good. And even like Kuroko no Basket, which I don't think is as good as Haikyuu or Hajime no Ippo. Like, they develop a whole bunch of characters. It's not just about the main 1 and 2.
You know which sports anime has the most developed characters?
Keijo! Not
Keijo.
not development as in their character, but develops character designs. Hey, man!
No.
Oh, thank you for explaining the joke, Nux. Everyone loves a guy who
Yeah,
explains
you
the
kinda-
joke.
I was just doing it because Evan didn't get it.
I did.
Oh, I agree. Tsuki had a lot of development. He really did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I
the
think-
final
I
fight, he
think-
actually jumped to his max to try to block that mad lad with his.
I guess I'm just because like there's only 4 in Ippo, and then there's 6 or 7 or 8 because you have the guys on the bench too. And when I think about the seniors or the
Even
older
the guy
guys,
on the bench, even the guy on the bench with the floaty serves, that dumbass got crazy.
yeah, he learned a
developed.
cool serve.
But like
I
his
But it's
think-
all about making yourself useful. I get it, so you could get on the court.
Okay, guys.
Go ahead.
So I think Nux is onto something, although there are exceptions. Like when I think of the original Dragon Ball Z, for example, you get development for Goku and Vegeta, and the other side characters are there, but they don't necessarily get their own arc and developments and all this other
not a
stuff.
not a single character from pre-Dragon Ball Z develops at all in Dragon Ball Z except for maybe Piccolo.
Yeah, but then I would say in Super they do kind of, because it's newer, they do kind of then develop Gohan and Trunks a bit and their relationships, and Bulma and Vegeta.
Well,
So-
Gohan developed throughout Z.
I would not in a good way.
Not in a good way, but he did develop.
He developed it first from like a baby,
Yeah,
baby to like a cool teen Gohan, and then he just like
post cell arc, definitely no development there, but he was developing.
Yeah. So, thanks, Evan. Yes. But anyway, so it's kind of just something that I noticed. It's not necessarily to say that one is better than the other per se. Like, obviously they each have their own strengths. And like there's some new shonen that I prefer to some old shonen. Like, we're only talking about the big old shonen. We're not talking about like Soul Eater, which is also an old shonen. And we
I
remember
think the issue is that there's not too many new shonen, right? Like new age shonen, or at least
there's a ton
okay.
of
There's
shonen.
obviously tons, but there's not like big ones,
Is
right?
Dr. Stone considered
Dr.
shonen?
Stone is in Shonen Jump, yes. Dr. Stone, Promise Neverland, Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, I feel like they're being
Fire
a lot more
Force.
creative with it nowadays. Like if you look at Promised Neverland, Dr. Stone, and Food Wars, those are very different shonen from what we used to
Yeah.
get back in the day. And I kind of
Yeah,
love
they're
it.
not
Back in
battle
the day, shonen was pretty synonymous with, laser beams.
Laser beams, power ups, and screaming.
Now shonen could be anything in the vibe of just growing to accomplish your dreams. Basically, any coming of age story could become a shonen. Whether you want food. Dude, Food Wars is so good.
Food Wars is amazing, and I agree with the development in Food Wars. It's definitely character-based. When you have Soma, Megumin, and Erina, the character development that they go through is insane.
And old shonen focuses on, let's say, the heart. And they only focus, and it develops the heart of the show, which very often turns out to be the main characters.
Hmm.
But,
Like the will of fire. It's presented in
as
many
I
different
said though,
ways.
Nux, as I told you, people are gonna complain. People in the chat are complaining, saying Rurouni Kenshin develops everyone. Well, not everyone, but a lot of different characters. So there's always gonna be exceptions.
Of course, there's obviously. I'm just talking on a general basis, and if what I say upset you, then thank you. It makes me happy.
He'll make a video about your toxicity. But someone said in the chat that Yamcha develops maybe in Dragon Ball, but definitely not in Dragon Ball Z, my dude.
No, not in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
No one understands Soma from Food Wars. I see you in chat, Commando.
Food Wars does have the only decent Megumin character.
It's true. No, I'm
It's
kidding.
Megumi.
Megumi.
Get out of here.
I feel like, so in Soma's first impression off season 1, he seems like an OP character who's actually talented, but then you start to realize that his talent is derived through his hard work, and anyone could be like him if you're willing to put in that work. And that's
Yes,
one thing I love about him.
he does have a talent. Like, he is very, he thinks out of the box. It's potentially because of his, like, how his father trained him to an extent as well, that he can always try to think of crazy solutions to wacky problems. Like, that's another skill. It's a skill, like, in the end of the day. But it's not like, with the ultimate power of my nose, I can smell the ultimate recipe,
Yeah, you got the god tongue and the god nose in that series. Like,
I think
or you just got people
I
that are
think-
just very talented compared to others. Like, it just, like, real life.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
you
that's why I
got
like.
Alice and her, like, crazy technology.
Yeah.
I will use this nuclear missile to create linguini. Oh, Alice. And
No,
then there's
but
who just serves you food to make you happy. Here's chicken soup.
I think in terms of New Age Shonen, the reason why I do like some of the New Age Shonen as much as I do is because, like you guys said, like they are just different. And like for me, I really love The Promised Neverland. Like I absolutely love that show. And it's this weird, interesting, like psychological thriller. But like, it's so real in the sense that, like, obviously there's, not the, I don't want to spoil it. The stuff that happens in the show obviously is a little far fetched, but the fact that the characters
read the
have
manga?
to. No, I just watched the anime. But
the
the
manga's fire.
yeah, the fact that the characters have to use their brains to get about, right, and like none of them seem to have any superpowers or anything. It's just like, yo, you just have to be smart about certain things. Like, I feel like that's pretty interesting. And, I mean, same goes for Dr. Stone, except he's kind of super proud in the aspect that this dude knows everything about planet Earth.
Yeah, Dr. Stone. What can I say? I feel like it's the shonen formula. You can't make the main character so broken, man.
No, he is definitely broken. He's like, why does he know everything?
It's like, bro, this man is like, he's scientist Kirito right here.
That is like the best description for him ever.
I mean,
I also like The Promised Neverland first season. I haven't read the manga yet, but I definitely enjoy it, and I like that it's different. It's a thriller rather than a battle shonen, and yet it has some really interesting characters so far.
Yeah, I think
And
the main
people-
trio in that first season right there, Norman, Ray, and Emma, like, they're fantastic.
Oh, they are absolutely great.
And I think I keep saying this, but I think Mama is a amazing character.
Yeah, she's
And
a
the peop-
fantastic
And
antagonist.
the people are always like, "Oh, Animac, you know why you're gonna freaking MILF guy?" It's like, no, man, she's way too scary for me to be interested in her in that way. I just think she's a very interesting character.
Bro, if she was married to Kira, we'd call Kira her husband, man.
No, man, she is creepy, like, bruh.
And I guess it's interesting now that I mention it. I didn't actually think of this before, but if you actually look at JoJo's, because it also, like, it changes styles every part, and the newer parts are more cast focused. Like, to be honest, as it goes on, like, Giorno only had like 2 fights in the whole part 5, whereas Jotaro fought literally half of the enemies in part 3. You know? Unfortunately, it seems like everyone here left. This is so sad.
I just haven't watched JoJo's, so I
I'm
can't.
here,
I mean,
but
What?
I was gonna say, like,
Look.
I just don't really like part 3 is very character focused. Maybe not so much so on the main Jotaro, I guess, in that case. But I feel like I liked and enjoyed the characters in part 3 more than the characters in part 5, other than Giorno
fair.
himself.
Dude, I prefer Lee from Naruto, which is an old shonen, and Lee didn't get any development after the tuning exams. I prefer Lee to any My Hero Academia character except for Mirio. You know?
So what are you're just saying that part 5 has is more character focused?
It's more character and theme focused, like, in how it's shown in, like, different character development. Like Mista, for example. Mista had more fights than Giorno.
Do you mean Mista?
Guido Mista!
Yeah,
And-
so I get what you're saying there, but I almost prefer, and I mean by almost I mean definitely prefer the development we got like of Joseph in part 2 and
Yeah,
the main crew in part 3. Sono Chino Sadame. Yeah, yeah.
Bro, I love Dio. Can I just say that? I feel like it's important to be said in at least every podcast. This man is amazing. Do you realize that Dio is the true secret protagonist of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure story?
Clearly.
Like, I mean, he's the guy that's always around. He's in part 1. They talk about him in part 2, and they deal with, like, you know, shiz that he accidentally dug up. Like, he's the antagonist in part 3. In part 4, like, they talk about him half the time because that's how the arrows got around. Part 5, you know, his son is the guy who seems to be the protagonist of part 5. Not gonna spoil anything in part 6 and 7, but, like, you know. This man is everywhere.
I gotta say,
He's
I
the
know this is
protagonist
gonna
of
upset
JoJo.
people. This is gonna upset people, but I do like Dio more than Kira. Dio is, every time he's on scene, the presence and charisma he emits just like gives me shivers, and I fucking love him.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, and I think that Nux likes Kira
Yeah.
because Kira is more of an intellectual, and Dio is more of a like classic old school like overpowered villain.
Mhm.
But I like him more. I like his presence more. I like him as a character for sure.
I respect because I appreciate Dio a lot. So if you guys love Dio, that makes me happy. As the man who introduced you to JoJo's with the whole heart, I am appreciative. But
I think
I do like Kira a lot more.
I think you like Kira more because he just wants to live a quiet life, but he's also a total raging psychopath. And that's
Yeah!
exactly-
I think it's because Nux relates to him. Although I will agree
No,
that
exactly.
Kira is an
Yeah, I am
amazingly
also a
witty
guy
character.
trying to live a nice, quiet, normal life. Meanwhile, I'm a complete psychopath. Like we had like 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, like that's why Nux doesn't show his face so that he can be as insane as possible and then like still live a normal life.
I mean, Briggs has anime posters behind him. You guys would freak out if you saw my toenail collections.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Kira
He-
reference.
Are Nux's hands.
Would you look at that?
Beck donated 420 bits to say, "Can we get some love for Moggy?" And what would that be classified as? I don't really remember when that came out.
The anime started in 2013.
Yeah, with Magi, I definitely don't think they do a great job of developing too many characters. Like they develop, I haven't read the manga, but at the anime they develop obviously Aladdin and Alibaba and the one red-haired girl quite a bit.
Morgiana,
Yeah, and then they develop
Sinbad.
Sinbad a bit. But yeah, I don't think the other characters, like there was the one dude, like the blonde dude in like the second season. It's like, I don't care, man.
No, there was no blonde dude in the second season.
What in the Magnostadt season?
Oh, yeah, that second season. I thought you meant the second arc.
Yeah, no.
That blonde dude. First of all, his name was Titus. Okay, and Titus, he was actually. Okay.
I know what he was actually, but I didn't love him as a character, and they
I
did a
didn't love
lot
him
to
as a
try to develop
character.
him. But
I didn't love him as a character either, but that his whole development was just to buff the crap out of Lady Scheherazade. Like that was the whole point of Titus, because Titus. It's a bit spoilery, so I probably should not say. But
whole
anyway,
thing-
like you have to realize you have 2 stories going on simultaneously. You have the Adventure of Sinbad manga, and you have the Magi manga. And the Adventure of Sinbad manga does its job to develop Sinbad, as well as every single. You know how Sinbad has his 8 generals, like he has Jafar, and he has everyone else that he gathered like through his journeys.
yeah, the
Mhm.
hot chick whose name I can never remember.
Right? Yamraiha. So
Yeah.
every single one of those characters in his 8 gets full arcs of development, and they grow with him. They're the main cast of Sinbad's story. And once you get to a certain point in the Magi story following Aladdin, they kind of, they combine, and you're like, "Bruh!" So I love the cast in Magi. But
Did you know that all those characters, a lot of those characters are based on stories from the 1001 Arabian Nights?
no, duh! Sinbad!
Wow.
His name is
That it would have
Sinbad.
never occurred to me.
Jafar! Mm. Where did I hear that before?
Aladdin.
Disney's Aladdin, bro.
Thanks.
Fun fact, Disney didn't invent these stories.
We know.
Nah. Disney's Aladdin. Disney's.
Would we classify Mob Psycho and One Punch Man as shonen?
I wouldn't.
Either of them?
Neither of them. They're more like I would say Mob Psycho is the drama slice of life. And I would say that One Punch Man's a seinen that makes fun of shonen.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
think One Punch Man's a seinen? I know it makes
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's like a parody of shonen. So like,
It's a comedy seinen. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying not every seinen needs to kill off every character to make you cry your eyes out the whole time. Like
No, I agree with because like Saitama is like in his mid-20s, right? Like he is not a shonen audience protagonist.
Johnny, let's talk anime. Donated 1,000 bits to say Fairy Tale. I guess it's somewhere in between, to be honest. It's after Bleach. It's like
I'd put it in the
Bunch
same generation as Bleach and One Piece, and like Naruto and stuff. I feel like those are
Yeah,
like the
but
big
so-
ones.
It
Back
was
in
Fairy
around
Tale
that time,
definitely
yeah.
develops all the guild members, and that is what Nux loves and simps for. So
That's what. I mean, I love Fairy Tale for the music and the guild, and everything about it. I just love Fairy Tale.
Fairy Tale's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I appreciate the crap out of the how the guild is the main character and the guild is what develops the whole story. Like that's really great. But as far as old shonen versus new shonen, while I think that it's great that so many new shonen are trying many different things, I don't think anything can replace the old shonen. Like I don't think anything is One Piece level and or Hunter x Hunter level or Furumeto the Alchemist du Brotherhood level. Like those three reign supreme above the entire new era of shonen.
yeah, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is an interesting one because it's fairly short compared to all the other ones.
Well, I mean, it's long. It's just as long as Demon Slayer, sort of. No.
Yeah, like so Demon Slayer and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood you can definitely compare because Demon Slayer is already ending in chapter like 205 or something.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty short.
I don't know about surpassing One Piece, but I am very optimistic that something's gonna come along eventually because they had like some of my favorite anime are newer shonen like Food Wars and Haikyuu, and I guess just those two.
You meant, like-
But
yeah, but again, you mentioned Food Wars and Haikyuu, but meanwhile, you like Hajime no Ippo more than both of them. Like, no.
that's true.
So
But Hajime no Ippo and One Piece are still airing, and they're still amazing. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
but I'm just
So
saying,
I love
there's
Haikyuu.
good things coming out, and the quality is still high. So eventually, I think something's gonna come along. Maybe not touch One Piece because that's physically impossible. But like, something's gonna come along to compete, and I'm excited.
I'm also excited. I am looking forward to the future. Meanwhile, Shonen Jump needs a kind of a revamp. Nothing in Shonen Jump right now is even close.
I think that One Piece is just in a league of its own. Nothing will ever be as consistently as popular for as long. And
So sad.
with JoJo's, nothing will ever be as memeable as JoJo's.
Yeah, One Piece, JoJo's. I don't think anything will. Like I mean, Hunter x Hunter's and Furumeto de Alchemist du Brotherhood are two pretty near perfect shows as well. I love
That's
both.
true.
The Eclipse is the best shonen arc.
Yeah,
No.
baby, Berserk,
No.
Shonen, show it to your children. Yeah,
There's also,
Sure.
I'm sure, a lot of
So you
nostalgia
ruin their
involved in
futures.
our opinions over like things like One Piece and Naruto.
I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia towards Naruto, but I am open to say that something can surpass Naruto.
Ludicrous Fund just donated 5,000 magical crystals to ask Nux to talk about Gintama, even though me and Briggs are not cultured on it. Sure, man, for
That's not what he said.
That
He
many
said that you're
crystals.
not cultured, period. He didn't say on it. He
Well,
just said
either
you're
way,
not cultured.
Gintama's not even
Gintama
a
Virgin
shonen, right?
podcast? Question mark.
So I think Gintama's amazing. What do you want from me? There's nothing to say. It's hard to discuss with myself. Gintama is probably, but I could discuss with myself, as Animac was going to point out. As I did.
Gintama Virgin podcast probably wouldn't get very many views, man, or downloads.
So then we could do it
Because-
once a month. How about we do Gintama once a month, just with bigger chunks? Chunks, bro.
Yeah, maybe when we finish One Piece.
All right, so let's.
I mean,
finish
I
One
still
Piece.
I still vote that the Rank Cafe Anime Podcast should have something like once a month where we just like watch a new anime and talk about it.
Yeah, so I was thinking actually, I recently finished Beastars. I think we should do maybe a full episode of Rank FA on Beastars. Like just covers individual anime.
Yeah, so Beastars is an anime that a lot of people are praising, but like just looking at it, I have no interest in watching it. But I feel like I'm gonna have to just because of people's peer pressure, especially if we're gonna do the Anime Awards, also known as.
Dude, it was last year, so it's not gonna be on.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, but you have to watch it because that's what next week's Rant Cafe is gonna be on. Quote me on that. It's only 12 episodes, man. It's on Netflix. You can do it. We have faith in
I
you.
know, but like it just doesn't.
Put it
look
on
that
instead of one of
appealing.
your trashy reality shows.
Trashy. What trashy reality show do I
I'm
watch?
joking. I'm
man?
just trying to slander you here. He doesn't. He only.
I know we watch like the same stuff.
I know.
Even like non-anime stuff, we pretty much watch the same stuff.
It's like, bro, did you see this crazy, Indian show?
I can't wait to read the comments of people saying Shonen's a demographic, not a genre, which it is.
Oh,
but
there are gonna be so many of those.
I was saying demographic the whole time. I didn't. Say
I know,
demographic.
but there's a few
people
times
are
where
saying-
I said genre.
Someone said anime about to simp for the rabbit girl. No, bro, I've seen that rabbit girl, and I'll take
Bro,
Miruko any day.
Get out of here. That rabbit girl is a lolly in the eyes of Mac.
No, these like animal people from Beastars are too animal for me. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm into. I'm
Animac
into
would
the.
be simping for the panda. I'm kidding. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Who is the panda?
Nah, he's some like war
Panda,
veteran.
panda.
Or what? What is this show about?
It's about beasts and stars, man. Watch the show. You'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. It's about like racism and stuff.
I think it's pretty good. I'm a fan.
I
Is
watched
it about racism?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main theme is racism.
Huh. Wouldn't have
Anyway.
thought that. All right.
And Evan, have you seen Beastars?
I haven't finished it. I got to episode 7.
Racist? No, I'm kidding.
How what?
That was a yeah. Well, anyway, should I read reviews?
Yeah,
some
I
reviews.
think we've achieved nothing
Oh,
in terms of a consensus, but
the
you know, that's-
What do you
pretty
mean we've achieved nothing in terms of a consensus? We just said old shonen kicks ass because nothing will beat One Piece, JoJo's, Furume, Todayuki, Mr. Beduzi, Hoodoo, and Hunter x Hunter. That's one freaking massive goddamn
so
conclusion.
trying
Well,
to be
that is an
optimistic here
interesting
again
point.
is I have not read Act Age. People are hyping up Act Age.
All right,
There's a lot of Shonen is constantly coming out with new manga. Even like Mashal. Mashal's
I'm
only 12
excited
chapters,
for the
and I'm a
future, man.
huge fan of Mashal.
I'm
yeah, so
excited
it is.
for the future,
Some people have
but-
been saying that Shonen Jump needs a revamp. They really need like the next One Piece or whatever. But there are quite a few good modern shonen going on. Some are
Absolutely.
ending, some are beginning. So it is going to be interesting to see whether there is going to be like a big, massive new series. I think MHA in terms of popularity is really the biggest new one. But people would argue not necessarily quality, but it's
in
definitely
terms of
hugely popular.
popularity. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah,
But-
we'll see. It'll be an interesting thing.
very important point, Animac. Where are you up to in Hunter x Hunter? Because right when you finish that, we're doing a full Rant Cafe episode on Hunter x Hunter.
I'm like 120.
All right, so you
Like
got
I'll be honest with you, man. The whole while I enjoyed the Chimera arc, once they infiltrate the palace, the pacing is pretty terrible. Like for the
Bro,
first
pacing's amazing. I
the
love
first
pacing.
5 minutes of each episode, I shit you not, 5 minutes is just the recap and the
The
intro.
it's not a
That's an
recap. It's the
Like
narrator,
actual
bro.
the narrator.
That's
Actual
One Piece
5
Skip-
minutes.
episode, bro.
Skip
Come on now.
recaps, then. What you're,
And that's why you read the manga for One Piece.
Nah, I watch the anime. I'm sorry.
Actual,
both
actual
'cause I'm
5
such a
minutes.
big
Like I'm
fanboy,
not
but-
exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating here. 5 minutes out of like 23 are just before the action even starts, and then you have obviously the
All right,
outro.
so before the action starts, did you see the whole episode devoted to why Killua turned around in the hallway?
Yes.
That was such a good episode, bro.
I like that.
I don't know,
like
man,
that
like-
episode as well.
They spent like entire episodes just walking in slow motion with the narrator talking. Like I'm not a fan of
Like
that.
the
I have
narrator,
to-
why did Killua decide to turn around at this moment and destroy those guards with his yo-yos? Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, so I'm not loving that the
I love
pacing.
it,
I
bro.
do like the arc and like what's going on. I just wish the pacing would speed up.
Well, it will speed up, never fear. When you see When you see some pretty epic stuff happen, you'll get back to us. But in the meantime, time for some reviews. The first review, Dear Evanito, 5 stars. Once upon a time.
What?
Once upon a time, I dreamt of fish.
No!
That's the whole review.
No! Whoever that person is, I hate you.
That was from Viable Option 69.
You're not a viable option, clearly.
I beg to differ. Anyway, next review. Lord Twigo's Ultimate Fam, 5 stars. I've guys, ever since Nux had 100,000 subs on YouTube, I'd listened to every single time of these podcasts multiple times. I put on my headphones at work and listen. All my coworkers think I'm a sociopath now because I laugh around 70 times an episode and I listen to multiple a day. And even if I tried to explain to them why I'm Ocean Claus, I hope that's a spelling mistake. I have no idea. They would think that I was even more crazy. So now, Nux is the one I relate to most because people think I'm crazy. Hurrah. P.S. Me fuming is the only option. P.P.S. Nux and Briggs! Best ship in anime. Thank you, Eric-san. Very cool.
Bro, how do you not understand what Ocean Klaus means? It is the most important word in the Danish language.
Well, I like eating Danishes, but I don't know about, speaking it. Next review. The Holy Grail of podcasts, 5 stars. Big fan of that time I got isekai'd with my truck. I just love all the twists on the typical isekai weave cliches. Looking forward to more chapters. P.S. I want to thank Lord Nuxenor for his 52-minute Deku video. It felt so good to hear someone actually say everything I felt about the character. Also, after you guys finish the One Piece Virgin, can you please do a Gintama Virgin? Otherwise, I don't think I'll ever have the motivation to read it. Bro, we'll watch it. We're not reading it. Get out of here. Next review, intro anime, 5 stars. I don't know what you're talking about. My first anime was JoJo's, followed by Berserk, and then Fairy Tail. Loved all of them. I was around 9. Bruh. This man watched JoJo at the age of 9, went on to Berserk, and then Fairy Tail, and loved all of them. This is the
He had a rough childhood.
What? That is an interesting childhood, not rough.
That sounds very rough to me.
Damn, that's amazing. Next, very cool. Animac is my favorite character. 5 stars. Nux is probably dead. Briggs reads One Piece. Animac has long hair. If you ask me, these guys are the true chads. If you enjoy anime, this is the perfect podcast for you. Also, please continue praising Attack on Titan and Kira's wife. Wow.
I will, and I am also my own favorite character, so thank you, sir.
Hell yeah, you're like top 5 for me. Moving
Sir
on.
Sir or madam, because the ladies love the Mac, so you might be a lady.
I mean, but there are no female weebs, so.
Yeah, that is an issue. But, you never know.
Next, the theme of Western are good. 5 stars. Avatar, Game of Thrones, Danny Phantom, Steven Universe, Fairy Odd Parents, Rick and Morty, literally all the Cartoon Network shows. Moving on. My favorite anime, but a word in the title is replaced by simp. 5 stars. Baki the Simp, Simp X Hunter, Simp Tama, Simp of the North Star, Star Ninja, Simp, Simp Hakusho, Simp. You'll never guess this one. These are the best ones. Man, our reviews are all memes. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's nothing real there. There's nothing real.
Next review, I think Griffith did something wrong. 5 stars. Hey, you absolute mad lads. Just want to say cheers for all the laughs. Everyone on the podcast is amazing. P.S. Love the brackets you did on anime openings. Was wondering if you were willing to do another one. Yes, sure. Of course, no problem. Here are some ideas I thought of. Berserk, Evangelion, Inuyashiki, Samurai Champloo, Deadman Wonderland, Monster, Fate Stay Night, and Limited Blade Works opening 2. 7 Deadly Sins, Black Clover, Psychopaths, Overlord, Parasite, Promise Neverland, Attack on Titan, Death Note, Haikyuu. Thank you. Next review.
See, the thing is, we did do a bunch of those opening brackets, and then we kind of gave up on it because we were going to do like a whole overarching tournament with the winners, and then we kind of trailed off, unfortunately.
We get back to that, though. It's a pretty...
We could do it.
Next review. The best in... I don't know. 5 stars. I found Lord King Nuxama based on luck. Now I am part of the cult. From the biggest flexes to the gayest fights, I love... Briggs is the greatest minor god of them all. And there is also that other guy that likes MILFs that no one likes, but I respect.
I like you, Animac. I like you.
Well, I respect.
Everyone likes me, Evanito. Everyone likes me.
Nice.
I tell them what they need to hear. Not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear.
That's
There
why
you
we
go.
appreciate you, bro. Next review, Best Bromance, 5 stars. I love this podcast and listen to every episode of it along with the One Piece Virgin. My favorite episode by far is the Best Bromance episode. The way you talk about the journey and each other is awesome. I think the title could also make for an awesome bracket style episode with characters like Ban Meliodas, Josuke Okuyasu, Hinata Kageyama, and many other legendary bromances. Just a thought, keep growing and keep making us all laugh.
Thank you. That's a really nice review. If you want a free shirt, go to @AnimeUproar on Twitter and just
my God.
at me.
That was from Wide PP Happy. Megaman is a viable option.
No,
That was
okay
a
then
joke.
no.
That was a joke. There's no
Okay then.
Megaman.
Okay then fine.
It's just Wide PP Happy.
Yeah, big wide peepee, whatever. That's okay, but the other part is.
Anyway, next review. I'm going to be a guest on Rank FA one day by Tyler Trice. People are realizing they can shout themselves out by forgetting.
Wait, didn't we read this one last time or?
I think
did
this
he
is his
just post-
third review.
Oh, this is the
Yeah,
third
yeah.
one because didn't he last time do something like my girlfriend's account? I'm using my
forgot
girlfriend's
that-
account to review.
I thought that was a different guy, to be honest. But anyway, you guys are dope. Love tuning in every Tuesday and Thursday for this and the One Piece Virgin podcast. Also, Sanji's best straw hat between him and Zoro. Nice.
I agree.
But you guys and Conan and Brian inspired me to create my own podcast, the Mobcast Mafia Podcast. So subscribe.
So it's about mafia.
And one last thing. This man is afraid of a Magikarp. Who raised this man? He still has my respect 1,000,000% at Evan Eat Zero.
Wow. Okay, first of all right.
First-
Magikarps
bro, you
are
just got-
disgusting.
You got someone to respect you though. That's
They're
the
just
first thing.
flopping everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
Wet and shit.
It's just gross to look at.
Next review. This podcast made me a weeb of culture, 5 stars. This podcast is the greatest podcast in the world, and you know it's because the world knows the world. Anime with a C, Lord D, Brigo, and Lord Nuxino provide the perfect balance of philosophy, One Piece references, and insanity because sanity is overrated anyway, and also memes. Oh, wondrous memes this podcast has produced. This podcast is also the reason I started reading Berserk and One Piece, and the reason I watched Seven Deadly Sins, and currently watching JoJo's and Katana Gatari. I stayed away from JoJo's for a long time because of how weird it sounded, and then I heard all the things you all said, and I couldn't stay away anymore. And Zara's for Katana Gatari. I fell in love after one episode, and I have not regretted watching it. Now all I have left to watch is Gintama, and I shall truly be a cultured weeb. This podcast brings me pure, unfiltered, childlike joy and wonder why and wonder. And I am joy and wonder. Hell yeah. And I am so glad it exists. Also, the light novel is hysterical. Love listening to you guys read it. Stay weird, fam. Shinpaku with a spoon. With a spoon.
Oh, it's because of the reference.
I miss Briggs. Remember when Briggs used to be part of these podcasts?
Yeah,
Same,
because he's
bro.
tired of your shit.
Rest in peace, Briggs. Rest in peace.
One day I will also watch Bakemono Nanakataganagatari.
Katanagatari, bro.
Isn't the
Briggs,
full name?
he said with a spoon.
Dude, I wasn't paying attention at all for all those reviews.
I know. That's why
I went to
telling
the
you.
bathroom, went downstairs, got a drink, came
And
back
this-
mid
This
conversation.
is why I'm making it clear that he ended it with a spoon.
With a spoon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Shout
Briggs.
out to all the animilfers in the chat. By the way, I think that's enough for the reviews, Nux,
Next review.
because everyone in the chat wants to come up with a name for the Nux and Melody ship.
Project Nux done.
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
I've seen Project Nuxie. I prefer
I
that.
got Nuxity. I got Project Taku, Project Nux.
Project Flex is another one that was suggested.
Thank you, Animac, for keeping track. Next review. Yes, just yes, 5 stars. This podcast keeps me going. Everyone is on it is hilarious, especially Animac with a C. The sheer chemistry between Nux, Anime Uproar, and Briggs the Chad is unreal. Nux is the Antichrist. What Animac is the peace bringer, and Briggs is the manliest man in all of anime, is the greatest trio ever. That's literally what it says.
They
And all
call
the-
you the Antichrist?
And yeah, clearly they didn't remember you, Evan. And all the guests you have on just add to the amazingness. I've been re-listening to the episodes, and they're just as funny as I remember. Please don't die.
Well,
We'll try.
yeah, we'll do our best. By the way, I feel like if we had Recon on the show more often, he would be appearing in the reviews a lot more.
It's true. He's definitely a memeable guy.
I feel like Recon.
Lord Twigo is a god. This is the best podcast ever. Lord Nuxenor will one day rule Zawardo with Briggs and Animac with a C as his underlings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out for him in the light novel.
Yeah, baby. The hype is real. Next review. Brigo's massive peen. 5 stars. Just for clarification, how big is Lord Brigo's snake?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
It's
god.
clearly 16 hebbies. All right.
What's
You're
a heavy?
A heavy's a snake.
How
in
many
Japanese.
moustache lengths?
Oh.
It's like 14 moustaches.
Vertical or horizontal? You know what? Don't answer. It's all good. Leave it up to the imagination. Anyway, and there's a lot more reviews. Some say, can we have more teching? Some calls, Evan a simp. Some says, Gureto des. Some people just post fish. And, this one's good. Is Evan a simp? 5 stars. Rank Cafe is a golden inexperience. And yes, Evan is a simp.
No, definitely not a simp. He is wrong. He doesn't know who I am. No.
Spitting facts. Oh my god, we got a lot.
He's like, you don't know me, bro. You don't know me in real life.
Yo, dude, this next one is also Simpanito, 5 stars. I love the Rank Cafe. Oh god, it's a long one. All right, I'll read it fast. Simpanito, 5 stars. I love the Rank Cafe. But you know what really gets me going? What really ruzzles my jimmies? Shout out to Jimmy, if you know what I'm saying, is Evan. This man is such a freaking simp, it makes Sanji look like Gintoki for that ninja chick. Sorry, I forgot his name, Nux. For Evan is the simp of the year, for sure, bar none. No one even compares. Also, Animac, I like what you did with your hair today. Very cool.
Yeah.
That person is
day?
wrong.
What day?
Wrong, I tell you.
Spitting facts.
No.
Okay,
no.
scrolling down.
Real quick,
Oh,
guys.
the next one says Nux and Briggs! All right.
Dr. Brooks. Real quick, guys. So the light novel is currently available on Patreon, on our Patreon, which is linked on the YouTube and the YouTube description and attached to our Twitch under info. But eventually, I think we did a poll and we're gonna upload it to web novel. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so there are several options where you can publish light novels, like for people to be able to see. Although patrons will still get early access, but the main two look to be Wattpad and web novel. We did a poll on Twitter at AnimeOutPro, and
which was retweeted by Nux_Taku and All Day Anime with 2 E's.
But the thing is, it's very close. It's like only a few percentages apart, and there's like thousands of votes. And neither of the companies, and there's also a company called Tapas as well. And I reached out to all three to be like, hey, what do you guys offers, etc., etc. No one responded to me, which is always a great sign.
Rough.
And everyone's like, people hate and love all these platforms. So some people said Wattpad is cool because a lot of people have it, but then the content is total garbage and doesn't fit what you want to do. Then other people are like, web novel has some like pay system that they don't like. I don't know, man. It's hard to decide. And then
So
some people
let us
said that we
know
should
in
just
the
do it
comments.
everywhere.
Hell yes. Also, just to counter your previous point about getting so many comments about Recon, I found a comment about Recon.
Oh, cool.
So this one says, I'm sorry, Recon. It says anime Recon sucks, which we all know is not true. And he rated it 4 stars, not 5, saying that I love the podcast, but I can't give you 5 stars because Recon has bad taste.
Jeez.
If anything, this just the fact that he's missing that star just makes Recon look better in all our eyes.
Yeah. I mean, then again, we got a 1-star review once saying that we didn't have teching today, so it's not 5 stars, it's 1. So, please meme with 5 stars, boys. Meme with 5 stars. Very cool. Very cool. And with that all said and done, are we reacting to one of the greatest anime videos of all time?
Yes, we will. At first, we got to end the podcast. But if you want some extra content, check us out at rankcafe.tv. Yeah, rankcafe.tv will work. Thank you so much, Evan, from the YouTube channel Evan Needs Zero, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, as always, even though you didn't tell me what it was about, like you always do, but thank you.
You
Yeah,
figured
but that's
Honestly, I'm still
it's
not sure
called
what it's about.
the Rank Cafe Roulette, bro. We also had, of course, Nux and Briggs. Nux, don't scream, just say it normally.
Knocked and break.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, I'm
Thank-
Briggs, and that's nuts. We are not
Huge thank you to everyone in the chat who joined us live and who's been donating and gifting subs and all that type of stuff. It really does mean a lot to us. It keeps the podcast going. Thank you. And until next time, see us. Peace, cowboys.
I had to get it out. You foiled my Nux and Briggs. But anyway, Briggs, I sent in the chat an image. What if Togashi wrote One Piece?
That's amazing.
Thankfully, Nux, whenever you scream like that, it just cuts out. So I hope you know that.